Hi guys, and welcome to this Sunday live session. Today I'm going to be going over some essential rasgueados for flamenco guitar, and I'll be doing some questions and answers afterwards. And feel free to chime in at any point if you'd like me to zone in or answer more specifically about what I'm doing, or if you have some questions about some of the videos that I've already released with the techniques. I've already had a few questions that some people want me to answer, and I'll be getting to that at the end of the video as well. So I'm going to start off by diving right into the rasgueados. So if you've watched any of my videos, the first two rasgueados that I've talked about, and I think it's a great way to start your journey into Spanish guitar, is with the rasgueado technique. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, rasgueado technique is when you flick out your fingers. And the two most essential ones that I find myself using are the three-finger rasgueado, which you have your A, M, I, and then I again, or you have your two-finger rasgueado, which is using your your A finger, I, and I again. And there's a few different ways to go over that, which we'll check out in a minute, a few different combinations and starting points. So let me start off. And if you're jumping into this, feel free to tell me where you're watching this from, and if you've seen any of my videos, and any questions you may have again. So here we go. We're going to start off with so that's the first rasgueado we're going to look at, and it goes with, we have A, M, I, 1, E, and Now, if you watched any of my videos, you've seen that I've said that there's two ways to hold a position on your hand. Now, what you want to do is either hold your thumb vertically, bring your fingers back, bring your fingers towards the palm, and then release, strike and release. Otherwise, you can hold your thumb a little bit more vertically on the sixth string, and then bring your fingers behind that. And as a way to launch off, it gives you a little launching off. For today's purposes, I'm just going to stick a little bit more with the first one, which more people are familiar with. So again, I'm just going to take a A minor right now, and we're going to do got 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 and. That's a basic exercise that I love giving to students, just so that they can practice the rasgueo straightforward with a metronome, and also to break it up with the beats 3 and 4. Again, you have 1, 2, Now, let's take a look at the two-fingered rasgueado. The two-fingered rasgueado, the way I like to show it initially to students is starting off with the A finger, I finger down, and then I finger up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this two-fingered rasgueado, the nice thing about this is we can start it off with different starting points, different fingers. So I like to show students starting off with the A, but in reality, when I use it a lot in rhythms, I like to start off with the I finger going upwards. So you might see me doing this a lot. And an actual way you might see me using this is doing something like this. So those are just a couple of ways that you would actually use it. If anybody's joining us, just feel free to drop down any questions, and I'd love to help out and ask you how your journey is going along with either watching my videos or with whatever you're working with. So, all right, let's get to some of the practical uses of this. So this two-fingered rasgueado, one of the ways that we use it a lot in flamenco guitar or Spanish guitar is for 3-beat patterns. So you might be seeing it used in something like a Sevillanas or Fandangos, and I just want to go over a little bit of that rhythm for you right now. So we're going to take our index finger down for the first beat. So it's going to be 1, and then you're going to have index finger up, and then A finger down. So that's going to be 1 and So you have 1 and If you want to try that again, 1 and Now we're just going to jump into the next beat. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. That's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and. So for Sevillanas, we use it. It's going to sound something like this. So taking it slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And hello, Yaz. I saw you just wrote down you want to learn a little bit about the picado, and I will gladly get into that. If you have something specific you want to learn about the picado, go ahead and tell me. And I am just going to set up this chat. Let's see how to do the alternates. Sure, yeah. So starting off, depending on what level you're starting with picado or where you're at, I like to start off really basic and start off with some chromatic exercises. So whether you're just taking something like a little chromatic exercise, I'm going just making sure you always alternate. I like to take an alternate between playing with quarter notes and then going to the eighth notes. So you just do like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just doubling. Really basic. It might be too. I'm not sure where you're at in your journey. If you're just starting off, that's the perfect recipe just for starting off. But if let's see, yeah, if you're saying you want to learn a little bit more about flamenco, picado, with flamenco, you always just want to make sure in flamenco we don't do too much of the open, what's called the. We want to do more of the rest stroke, not the free stroke, which I couldn't think about a second ago. So you want to always do rest stroke where you're falling on the next string. Practicing really basic stuff like that. I found that stupid little exercises, which some people might think are very basic, are some of the most significant ones in helping out. So another type of exercise I didn't cover in any of my videos, which is one of the other type of basic ones, is just doing 2 and then 1 in the next one. So doing something like this. Helps you get that feeling of alternating and moving back and forth. Let's see. Can we use the same finger index? And oops. Let's see. Let me get this going. Can we use same finger index middle on every string? Not sure. Basically, and thanks for the nice comments. Not sure exactly what you mean, but basically you always want to be alternating. You never want to let. Sometimes out of convenience, you might want to do something like this. Maybe you're like. You don't want to ever drag the finger, even if it's out of convenience. You always want to make sure you're alternating. Just back to the exercise I was just checking out a second ago. If you want to practice something like this, take a 1, 2, 3. like that will help you just learn that alternating practices. Also, just practicing some basic scales in different rhythm patterns, whether you're practicing them in eighth notes or quarter notes, also helps you to just develop that basic technique, whether it's going down or up. Something taking your basic Phrygian flamenco scale. So I like to break it up for beginners who are starting off with this, to practice it with the quarter notes, and then also just to double it up as well. So, and also to practice it with triplet feels. So if we have the metronome going at this type of beat, would be 1, 2, 1 and 2 and then also go to triplets as well. So something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. Sounds good, my friend. Thanks for chiming in. I also wanted to add, somebody else was asking me in one of my videos about how to apply the golpe to the rumbas. So I'm not sure if that was you or somebody else, but just to give you a little quick example of that. This could be a whole separate workshop, but just to give a little small short answer. You want to make sure you practice, first of all, as in my last video about the golpes, you want to practice the golpe with the index finger. So it might be kind of awkward at first. Practice just tapping on the guitar, and then the index finger. So you have to do the index finger down with the golpe. Now for the rumba, what you want to do is practice with the thumb as well. So forget about the index finger. Now just do the thumb. So it's like you're doing a gripping motion like this. So just pretend you're grasping at something. Don't worry about getting a great sound with the thumb at first. You're not going to get you're not going to get that type of sound. It's just more, you're just getting a little bit of the bass notes. So, and if you're not familiar with rumba rhythm, the rumba rhythm, for example, that I'm just about to show you right now is just like this. I'll just show you a quick little example of how it sounds faster, and then we'll break it down real quick. So. Don't want to make it seem overly complicated. It looks a little crazier when you do it fast, but I'll slow it down a little bit right now for you. So let's see. So it goes, you start off with the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, it would be 1 with the thumb, and with the index, and with the index down. Then the thumb's going to come back up, slap, up, down, up. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How's that looking? Does that make sense to you guys? Thanks, Yaz, for the nice comments. I'm going to be trying to do this every Sunday. And if you guys leave me some questions in my videos, I'll try to make this more about your questions and do like a little coaching sessions to go along with the videos. I'd love to be able to help you guys all out. So that's the plan. So if I get enough questions in the videos, I will try to accommodate to everyone that I can and make it more about the questions than about anything else. All right. So again, just for whoever else is watching this now or later, just to go over that rumba pattern one more time about the golpes. We're gonna have the golpe with the middle and the ring finger. 1. And if you can't get that, just practice that on its own. So just practice trying to do like a strum. You just want to kind of get that bass note. So it's gonna be 1 and 2 and 1. And when you do that 2, you're gonna twist your wrist. So make sure you twist so that your thumb can come back up. Slap, up, down, up. And that's gonna be your basic rumba pattern. The other question I think I had regarding the golpes was how to apply the golpe with the gypsy style rumba, with the slap, with the full slap. That one's actually a little bit easier. This is a typical rumba rhythm from the south of France, from like the Gypsy King style that you'll see them using. This one is just going to be a full slap. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... So it's just 1, E, or 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and slap, index up, index down, thumb up, slap, index up, index down, thumb up. So that's a little bit of some rumba for the questions that I had asked before. I hope that answers your questions. And let's see how it's going with the... And yeah, like I said, just if I get some questions, whether it be right now on the live chat or if you drop me some questions on the videos, specific videos, I would be happy to plan some stuff and answer right away next Sunday. The reason I wanted to start doing these live sessions was so that I could respond to questions a lot sooner rather than waiting till I have the time to make another video, which takes a little bit more time to edit them and put it all together. But if I could do these lives, it's a little bit more quick, right onto the spot. So I'm happy to share my knowledge with you guys and try to down. There's a lot of great teachers all around the world and a lot of great players. What I try to do just to differentiate a little bit is to really break it down and go down to the bottom of ground zero, which sometimes can be hard because we forget how to go back down to ground zero after we've been playing for years. So let me think. Is there anything else that you guys want me to check out? Do you have any other questions? Otherwise, this will maybe be a little experimental first live, and we'll keep it at a short time for today. If you have any other questions, feel free to chime in right now. Otherwise, I'll end it with a little bit more on the rumba that we were talking about. All right, so maybe what I am going to end it on is just again on a little bit of the other rasgueado. I'm going to try to end it a little bit on the other rhythm that we were talking about, the 2-finger stroke. So we're using the A and the I. And this is for 3-beat patterns. So we're going to do... So again, we were talking about it before, but it's just going to be down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. There's just going to be 1 and 2 and 3. Index finger down is always on the beginning of the beat, and then index finger up is always on the upbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3. So I hope that clarifies that other rhythm. It's a nice, beautiful rhythm to have for 3-beat rhythms. Besides that, I think we are going to call it a little bit short for today, unless you have any more questions. Are you asking about Entre Dos Aguas? Yeah, that's one of our favorite tunes and a classic tune to play. And for the flamenco rumbas, what did you specifically want to learn? Just the notes or just the chords? So that's Entre Dos Aguas. The chords that we use for that song is just A minor 7, then we have B, B7, then we have A minor 7, and we go to B7. Either play B7 on the 2nd fret with on the 4th string, 4th, and on the 2nd string, or you could play B7 here. You have 2, 1, 2, 2. Another way I like to finger the B7 chord that we use in flamenco a lot is, instead of not playing this, we'll put a little mini bar here. So we, instead of putting this finger like this, we'll put it like this. So you have a fuller B7. So I hope that helps. As far as the A7, sometimes what we use in flamenco too is these little leading notes. No, I'm not sure if in Entre Dos Aguas he might have not used that in the recording, but maybe in some live versions he might mess around with something like that. So you do that. So you switch from this position, you use your 2nd and your 3rd finger, and then you add this 1st finger here, so that leads you to. So it's a nice little addition. A couple little nice little details. As far as going into the rest of Entre Dos Aguas, I would love to do a full tutorial on that, but it's a little much to delve into right now, just for a quick little live session. So I am going to end it on that note. Thank you for joining me, sir, and whoever else was watching. Please don't forget to leave me some questions. Where are you watching from, by the way? Feel free to tell me where you are. Where you're watching from. I'd love to know where everyone is at. I'm here in Chicago in the United States at the moment. Feel free to chime in and let me know where you're watching from. Thank you again. I will be the last video I released was on flamenco chords, and I have a couple more from that series coming up, so feel free to check those out. All right, cheers.